This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2, 3. Lovely.
The terror, which would not end for another 28 years if it ever did end, began, so far as I know or I can tell, with a boat made from a sheet of newspaper floating down a gutter swollen with rain. It's the Maastricht edition. Dun dun dun. What have I done?
It's scary.
Welcome everybody to the Maastricht edition.
Indeed. Good evening. What a nice intro. A little bit of Stephen King to start us off.
And why in the world would I do that? I have no idea.
Yeah, we're going to do a fun kind of shout out to the world of books this evening, I believe. So we've got a little, as you can see, I've gone all out. I've got a little setup going on here. So why not? It makes a lot of sense. Oh, Matthew's got some.
I see Stephen Fry.
Nice.
Yeah. Very
He's
good.
actually a very good author.
Yes.
You seem surprised.
I never realized he wrote so many fiction books. And I discovered them. I was like, oh, I have to read all of these.
Indeed.
And I have.
Yes, wonderful. Yeah, we discovered that a lot of us are reading even more during lockdown. So we thought we'd bring our little tips and suggestions about books to read to all of the fabulous viewers this evening.
I understand 3 words in the book I just read. Really, I mean, yeah. Let's see, wrote. Okay, I'm Richard Bachman. Nice to meet you. No, not at all. No.
Oh, goodness. Well, guys, it's lovely to see you. I feel like I'm blessed this evening with the 2 boys. Unfortunately, our Jo isn't with us tonight. She had other commitments, but we're sending her a big warm hug, and she'll be back with us again next week.
Blessed with the 2 Boys is the name of your adult film, isn't it?
Is it? Yes, it is. Busted. Oh, no.
And the show starts off right. There we are. Yeah.
Let's go it. How have you guys been? Have you had a good week? It's quite hot, isn't it?
My God.
It is rather warm.
Yes.
I feel as though I'd rather not complain about the heat because it seems like only a week ago we're saying, oh my God, it's so cold and so dreary. And now we're like, oh my God, it's so hot. And there's just no winning with us. We are very peculiar, picky people, aren't we?
I like the 3 bears. It's too hot. It's not warm enough. What is it?
I like the 3 bears. Oh, can I be Goldilocks, though?
Wait, but there's 3.
Like the evil character in that story.
She just goes around eating porridge and sleeping in bed.
She broke into the bear's house.
Yeah.
Oh,
ate their food. They were hungry.
Oh, no. And I'm such an animal person. Okay, I take it back. Forget
That's what I'm saying. Didn't at the end of that story, did they not eat her? How did that?
No, isn't it that in the last house she found the one that was just right? Isn't that?
Oh, but there's
Don't
okay.
they come back? And then,
Of course they would come back. It's their house and their
I'm
food.
sure in the Grimm's fairy tales she gets eaten.
Do you think so?
We'll have to look this up. I don't. Is there anybody listening know the end to Goldilocks and the 3 bears? Can you tell us?
Please.
And-
I know I've forgotten, and I don't have any children to read the story to, so I'm
Well,
completely
Tracy,
in
do you
unknown
think-
territory.
Tracy, do you think Cinderella is a timeless tale of wonderment for children?
Oh, you see, that's it. You're putting me on the spot there.
I
because
am.
Cinderella has come into disrepute recently, hasn't it? Apparently, children aren't allowed to hear the story of Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty and so on anymore.
Oh, well, you're taking this a bit farther than I wanted to go. You tell me. Why?
No, there was a few months ago. There were some people who were, at least back in Ireland, who were campaigning to have stories like Sleeping Beauty taken out of the storybooks for children.
Okay.
Because in the story, the prince kisses the Sleeping Beauty, and it was misconstrued as non-consensual and that kind of stuff. So that's where I thought you were going. But
No. I was going with the traditional story of Cinderella with the stepsisters, cutting off toes and.
That's right. They were quite evil, the stepsisters, weren't they? Mm.
Well, no, cutting off their own toes in order to fit into the shoes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Did they
Well,
cut
what's
their
all this
toe
about
off?
non-consensual? I mean, that's not wrong. I mean, that's absolutely spot on. But I mean, that's.
Getting confused. Who would have thought fairy tales could confuse us so much?
Me,
bodes
I
well.
guess. I don't know.
It was a long time ago, our youth.
It was a while, wasn't it? Matthew, do we still have anyone watching us?
Yes, we have thousands of people watching.
Fantastic.
Great. How does the Goldilocks and 3 Bears end? Oh, I don't remember either. But Google.
Google it. Yeah, we'll do that maybe during the show. And
Yeah, because
find out.
everything on the internet is true. So of course we'll find it there. So anyway, welcome to everybody who's coming. Actually, you're just in time to join us here. We actually have a wonderful guest that we're going to bring on about 3/4 way through the show. Deniz from Maastrichter.com. Also,
Yes.
Internations. I made the mistake
Ambassador. That's right, Ambassador for Internations.
Yeah.
And he's been on the show with us a few times back in the time when we actually were physically together in a studio and could hug people and see people and stuff. But he's been on the show a couple of times, and he's a wonderful ambassador for Internations, number one. But this new project of his, Maastrichter.com, is really, really quite exciting, and it's taken off really well, considering he's only launched it a couple of weeks ago. So I think you'll have a lot of fun updates and facts for us.
Absolutely. And we're excited here at the Maastricht edition to actually have a partnership with Maastrichter to help get some of the content out there. Because again, it's I'll say it this way, it's nice to dream, looking at all the events around the area that we may not be able to go to in the future.
That's true.
You can go to. Because I looked a few up. You can go to I don't know what this means, a Chavo and Band Borrelnoten. I think it's live music. But yeah, so there you go. Open air concerts between July and August in Maastricht. So there's one on 31st tomorrow at 9.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the Jaker Jazz Facebook page. You can find out more information, and that it'll take place in Den Hemel.
That's right. That's around the corner from where I'm living. It's a really nice spot near the old Hellport, that sort of area of town.
Ah, yes.
So there it is. Yeah. But I think they actually started these open air concerts last week, and so far there's been a lot of people going along and some great live music and some fun shows.
And you can also go to the open mic nights also in Den Hemel. And so if you want to try out some comedy, or I don't know, some sort of performance, whatever you want to put out there.
Imagine.
Go along tomorrow night.
Should I go along and do my jokes of the week?
Yes, please.
Do it, Tracy.
Yes, please.
Send us video evidence.
And send us video, and we'll put it
Can
into
you
the show.
imagine? Yes. Just do all of them in one row. Do they
and-
still throw tomatoes at people? I think so.
But what if you really like tomatoes?
Well, I actually do like tomatoes.
Right. Here, you're kicking ass. Have a
it would be
tomato.
okay. Yeah, just catch them, make a little bit of insalata caprese or something. It would be okay.
I want to say that I stole that joke from Mitch Hedberg, but never mind.
I'll keep it in mind, Matthew. What else do they have going on?
There's also, on Saturday, there's a Limburg Pride taking place in Roermond.
That is about that time, yeah.
Well, technically in Roermond, but all online because of Corona. So between 4 p.m. and midnight, there are lots of discussions, debates, and also live performances with DJs. And there's a drag queen called Queen Delicious, and she'll be presenting the whole thing.
How exciting. It's amazing really how resourceful people are and because I know that they were going to do the Pride Parade in Maastricht and everything, but now they've reversed it and come up with a different concept, but I'm sure it will be different, but just as successful, I'm sure.
Different, but really, not to discourage it, but the nudity, that goes along with Pride, is it going to be the same amount of debauchery and greatness that goes along with normal Pride, or is that encouraged?
Who knows? Maybe you need to tune in on Saturday and check it out.
Well, I'm going to be naked on camera anyway, so
No, do you think so? Well, fun though, but nice that they are still able to do something. Huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. And Dennis will, he'll pop on a bit later to tell us all about it. Actually, Matt, we haven't heard from you. How was your week?
It was good. What have I been doing? I started an art course. I was on Instagram and got hooked by an advert, and I clicked on it, and it was art courses online, but relatively decent prices. So I was like, oh, I'll go for that. So I started.
Nice.
Actually, I have something.
Sharing. Here we go.
Look, it's got lots of fun exercises. I had to learn about all these watercolors.
Oh, you didn't say anything about learning.
Yeah, I like different techniques.
I just thought you just...
I've got a set, but I've never really used it. So I was like, oh, perfect, I'll do that during lockdown.
Well,
that was the plan.
look, Matthew. Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's already very impressive, I must say.
Thank you. It's okay.
Nice.
No, wait, no,
This
hang
is
on. Go back. The back of what you just showed us is what you did?
Yeah, I did all of that.
really cool.
Whoa. Okay. I thought you were just showing us the thing from the school, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, you're just showing us an example. That's actually really impressive, man.
Really impressive.
We'll see.
Look at
It's early
that.
days.
Really nice.
And humble.
What?
Look at that.
And such a good thing. I think something creative like this is good for our Matthew, and certainly during lockdown times as well.
Yeah, so if lockdown comes back again, I've got something to keep myself occupied now.
Yeah, we have to see. Things are all a little bit kind of up and down in the last week with regard to what you can do, where you can go.
Yeah.
There's some, I believe in Antwerp now, in Belgium, they're sort of having curfews almost. And in Germany, they're looking at this sort of 7-day incident thing. So, yeah, let's see how we go. You know, it's 6 months today that the coronavirus was kind of launched as a sort of global pandemic by the World Health Organization.
Was it
6 months
I know.
is 4 years too long.
No, it feels that way, doesn't it?
My God.
Because it's the 1st of August on Saturday, so yeah, time has ticked over, and it sort of kicked in somewhere in February then. So here we are, 6 months later. But okay, we have art, we have books, we have wine, and we have our fabulous Facebook Live radio show.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Pat our own backs.
I'm kidding. You know, we have things to do. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, being locked in with our families is not, completely, maddening at all. Right?
Although apparently there are some people who are starting to go a bit crazy with the whole, I can't work with my husband at home anymore. Oh, so,
Yeah, but to be fair, a lot of those people couldn't work with their husband even before. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
that,
people love chocolate. If you have a lot of chocolate, I mean, eventually you get sick of it. So I guess I understand. I mean,
that is so true. I mean, I always tell myself I love chocolate, and at Christmas time, I eat that entire box of roses, and then I think, oh, I'm never eating chocolate again. But,
and there you are
few
next
days
Christmas.
later,
Yeah.
it's how it goes. But yeah.
All true.
That's the life.
All true. So, looking at the time here, do you think that maybe it might be time to calm down a bit?
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
like
Bring it down
it's
into
like
a
it's
zen.
true. Wow,
It
well
is like that.
done.
It is like that. Except it's not. No, I'm your temporary bogus Joe today, ladies and gentlemen. No one can ever replace her, but I'll do my best, and I won't do an accent because I won't put your ears through that. That is terrible, and that's my promise. But I think it is time to kind of bring it down to a nice low hum. Relax because it's too damned hot to do anything.
Yes.
And then we bring it in and listen because today is this day in history. Wow. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a transition. And I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, it's terrible. And usually I'll transition to Joe at this point, but I felt it's sort of necessary to do the transition and then just come straight back to the same shot because I don't want to be alone over there. But frankly, what's the point? Anyway, today is year in our Lord, 30th July, 6 months apparently into this corona madness. Thanks,
Amen.
Tracy.
Sorry.
It's the longest 4 years ever, really. But hey, on the up and up here, in 1836, today on July 30th, the first English language newspaper was published in Hawaii. I feel like that happened last week as well.
Oh, okay.
But maybe this was a redo. Like they published the first one in English and somebody read it and was like, oh, let's do that one again. And then let's call
Maybe
it the first
they weren't
one.
happy with the first round, perhaps.
Who knows? Or maybe I'm just imagining things.
That could happen. It could be a sign of lockdown. You start to imagine things. Everything
Apparently.
merges into one, huh?
Or the LSD. Anyway, 1872, Mahone Loomis patents wireless telegraphy.
Ooh.
Wireless telegraphy.
That's the telegram, right?
I'm assuming just
Okay.
without wires. Again,
Like
beaming.
move one person to another place, like on Star Trek.
Oh, like beam 'em up, Scotty. You mean?
Telepathy. Telegraphy. Teleporting.
Teleporting.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. In 1872, they were No, okay, of course not. I don't know. In 1908, around the world automobile race ends in Paris.
Ooh.
I'm assuming it also began in Paris.
I was thinking that.
That would probably make the most sense. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be around the world.
But I also want to. I mean, it did in 1908. Did they have roads across the respective oceans as well? How did that work?
That's an interesting one. I suppose they used a lot of boats, I guess.
Well, then that
Because
really.
1908, what kind of motor cars did they even have back then?
But at that point, does it cease to be an automobile race?
I'm a car.
I've done nothing with my life, so I mean, I'm not one to nitpick at all. I mean, I think I did 10 push-ups this week. That's the best I've done so far.
Impressive.
Well, again, it also goes back to my ideology that there's no time limit. So I've done my 10th one. I just started 6 months ago. Anyway. In 1909, French chemist Eugene Schuller.
Maybe.
That was terrible. Eugene Schuller founds L'Oreal with his new range of hair dyes.
Did he now?
Did he?
He founded L'Oreal because we're worth it. That's the
And
product
I
placement. It's that guy, right?
I'm assuming it's that guy. I was gonna pose the question to you, Tracy. I mean, I don't. Have you ever?
But I think it is. Yes, if he's the guy who invented L'Oreal, that's the folks who bring us hair creams and face creams and all that kind of stuff. And their slogan is, because I'm worth it.
Who makes a slogan to basically say, "Oh, you're not worth it"? Buy our product because.
I don't know. Talk to the advertisers.
I don't know. Let's.
Well
I'm not going to go down that road. We're just going to end up getting sued and taken off here. So, in 1928, George Eastman shows first amateur color motion pictures to his guests at his New York house, to include a Mr. Thomas Alva Edison.
Ooh.
And George Eastman, if you know, also teamed up with another pioneer to make a world famous film company. Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? Bueller?
I don't know.
Kodak.
Matthew.
Kodak Eastman.
Oh, okay.
Am I the only one?
Later known as Kodak, then.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's
I may be
awesome.
making that up too. I don't know. In 1935, the first Penguin book is published and basically started the paperback revolution.
Paperback writer.
Put it away, Tracy.
The bit of the Beatles.
Yeah,
yes,
I
we
know.
like a Penguin book.
And we don't like the
Okay.
Beatles, but we like a Penguin book.
And we,
I learned this week that there's a fairy penguin.
Is there?
Apparently, it's like the smallest penguin in the world, and it lives in Australia somewhere.
In your pocket.
Matthew.
Like how
I think
small?
it's bigger than a fairy. Like, I saw a picture and someone had photoshopped it onto a flower, so it was tiny. I was like, I don't think that's the right thing. I think it's like, I don't know, it's birds,
Lines.
owl size.
Why is it called a fairy penguin then? Are they mystical and magical?
Pixie dust?
They wear
Maybe.
tiaras and they have wings.
Yes,
Oh,
that's what it is.
Good enough. Good enough for me.
That's the best answer right there.
That's the best.
In
Children,
19,
that's your answer. Go on. Sorry.
it's the pixie dust and the tiaras and the wings that really put it off. Anyway, I've got no segue for this one. In 1984, Holly Roffey, aged 11 days, is the youngest ever to receive a heart transplant.
Wow.
In 1984, 11 days old.
Wow, my goodness. Do we know if it was a success?
It does not say that, and I don't want to dig.
Okay. That's right.
It's small,
Yeah.
tiny.
Indeed.
I think
It's sort of sad. It's sad if you think about it, because she's 11 days old and receives a new heart. But of course, the heart would have come from another little baby. So it's I guess.
this is taking a very, very sad turn, Tracy.
Back to the fairy penguins.
No kidding.
Oh, goodness.
Or maybe something heavier. In 1991, the heavy metal band Metallica releases their single Enter Sandman.
Oh, yes.
And I'm gonna step back here because again, Joe wrote these notes, and I'm gonna blame her because she wrote heavy metal band, and while I like Metallica, really, heavy metal, really.
What do you think? Well, they're not pop.
No,
They're not rock.
they're hard rock for sure.
Ooh, okay.
That album, the Black Album, the album that came from Enter Sandman, not really. I don't know. I wouldn't call that heavy metal. And again, I'm looking at this with very skeptical eyes here, and I'm also looking at this from a very contemporary point in time, where basically heavy metal now is ridiculous. It's heavy, really heavy.
It's a shame to the name heavy metal.
I guess.
They don't make them like they used to, I tell you.
It's true. I mean, and again, great song, great album. And again, I'll reserve my judgment out there for all of our Facebook watchers here because I don't want to get hate mail. But I mean, it's a good song. I'll just put it that way. Just heavy metal, I wouldn't really call it that. I don't know.
We'll discuss it at length next week when Joe's back.
God, I hope not. Anyway, 2003, the last of the old-style Volkswagen Beetles rolls off the assembly line in Mexico.
I find that tragic. It's one of my favorite cars. I love it, but not as much as the original old-timer Mini. But if I had to have a second choice, it would be the VW Beetle Bug.
Oh, I love me a Mini.
I love them.
Make of what you will with that comment. I love a Mini. You pervert.
Sorry, Matt.
Was Herbie a beetle?
Herbie was a beetle, yes.
Indeed he was.
That film.
What, the original or the remake?
The original one?
When's the original one, Matt?
The original.
I don't know when.
It's
I
not the
watching it though.
It's not the one with Lindsay Lohan, right? Right.
Huh?
With never mind. I think Americans ruined that one, so I'll apologize for all of my countrymen. Another Disney flop. Anyway, in 2006, the world's longest running music show. You guys, what's the world's longest running music show?
Eurovision.
Okay. What's the world's longest running music show?
The world's longest running music show. It must be Eurovision.
It is not. Hey, the world's longest running music show, Top of the Pops, is broadcast for the last time on BBC Two.
Shame on us, Matthew. Shame on us.
42 years it was on. 42 years.
Wow.
But
for me, Top of the Pops lost. Once it changed its theme song, it just wasn't the same. They had the opening riff of, was it Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the opening song for years and years for that program. And then at one point they changed it to some random sort of retro kind of, I don't know, techno thing. And it was horrible. And after that, I didn't watch again.
And thusly, they were off the air. That was pretty much the downfall, wasn't it? Well, how long has Eurovision been on?
Since the, 1940s, 1950s, I guess.
So I guess that, it's actually, I guess Eurovision is probably, at this point, the world's longest running music show.
Hurrah!
There you go. So technically, on a technicality, okay, you won.
Oh, guys, stop. I have to interrupt the current scheduling. I watched the Eurovision.
Oh, did you watch it? Did you like it?
Oh, my God.
What you're talking about is the Netflix documentary film that with Will Ferrell.
And Rachel Adams. Yeah. Iceland. Oh, as someone who loves Eurovision, I really found it quite offensive. I didn't like it. I found it. If I were from Iceland, I'd be horribly insulted. And they make out Europeans to be. I don't know. There was parts of it that were really fun, and there was a lot of cameos from real Eurovision entry people. Mm-hmm. But in general, it annoyed me. There was parts that were very sweet and tender, but parts that really, really irritated me. And at the end, I had this feeling where I thought, well, that's 2 hours I'm never going to get back again.
Really? That bad? Really?
It's not the greatest.
Well,
I went in with such high hopes. I had wine, I had popcorn, I was really excited. It sort of was a wah for me.
Well, I apologize for even offering that one to you. I thought again, as a Eurovision fan, that you would absolutely enjoy that. seeing the irony and everything that was written into the script. But okay.
Yeah, it sort of irked me. That's the word I'd use.
Okay.
But just carry on, dear. Back to this day in history.
My bad. Sorry.
I'll have some wine.
Oh, please do. In 2017, hackers, as in computer-y type hackers, reveal that they have stolen data from HBO, including episodes and scripts from Game of Thrones.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or as we call it here, dragons and boobs. Dragons and boobs. And really, what did that change about the show?
Nothing, because side note, Game of Thrones has been voted as the best program ever on television. Mm-hmm. Even better than Stranger Things, which was, for me, I loved both very much.
According to one guy on the internet, or is this a universal sort of thing that people agreed on?
There was some sort of a poll that they kind of voted on it, so it is apparently one of the best TV shows.
A poll of George R.R. Martin indicates that Game of Thrones is the best show on television. I hate to say it, never seen it. Sorry. So I'm sure it may be wonderful. Just I only know what I see and hear about it from you guys and read about it on the internet.
It's way better than the Eurovision movie.
Well, most things are better than that, according to you. So, let's wrap up on a good happy note here. I'm assuming this is a happy note because it's the first time I've read it. In 2018, British Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt mistakenly calls his Chinese-born wife Japanese in a meeting with his Chinese counterpart in Beijing. That wasn't happy at all. Oh. Wow. And the newly divorced Jeremy Hunt, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, birthdays today, July 30th. In 1818, Emily Bronte, English novelist from Wuthering Heights fame, was born in West Yorkshire. In 1863, Henry Ford of Ford Model T fame was actually born in Dearborn Township, Michigan. In 1940, Clive Sinclair. This one speaks to me. The British computer inventor. Sinclair Computing? Anybody? All right, I've lost everybody here. Anyway, he was born in Richmond, Surrey. Friend of the show, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Austrian-American bodybuilder, was born in 1947.
Scott, Arnold.
Yeah, and Grüß Gott. Another friend of the show, Kate Bush, the English singer-songwriter, was actually born in 1958 in Plumstead, England. And the last friend of the show that we have here, Lisa Kudrow, American actress who is better known as Phoebe on the show Friends. She was born in 1963 in Los Angeles, California on July 30th. So happy birthday to all the folks I mentioned before, all the friends of the show especially, who may be joining us at a later date. Fingers crossed, who knows? And again, happy birthday to all the folks out there who may be watching, and to anybody else who has a happy day coming up, happy birthday.
Indeed.
Or just have a happy day.
Happy birthday, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And a reminder, if you would like us to deliver a fabulous happy birthday message, let us know. We can provide that service.
And we will absolutely botch it on air for you. We're happy to do that. Anyway, and that's July 30th day in history. Transition to the same shot again.
Very proud.
Yes, should be very proud. Well done, dear.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Awesome. And very interesting facts again, as always.
Yeah, not happy any of those, really. I think I had higher hopes for a lot of the things I read, and I read them with the wrong inflection, maybe. Today, pestilence and plague. Hey! Sorry about that.
No worries at all. No worries at all.
And again, looking at the time, I want to make sure that we're trying to keep things on. I also, the viewers who normally view in this time on Thursdays only usually get to see Joe, Matt, and Tracy, and I'm probably pointing at the wrong directions here. And they don't get to see me in the background actually trying to produce and smack the camera and hold up signs, and basically, picking my nose and doing lots of unmentionable things. And so I feel as my role as a pseudo producer here that I'm gonna start viewing the time and trying to keep things in order, which really doesn't fit into the show at all.
No, it's kind of like when the hell did we ever do that? But okay, we can start.
Why start now?
Change.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could try it for today. And
Nah.
see.
Well, back to the organized chaos. But looking at the time,
Is it my hint to start the news?
it might be your hint to start the news, because looking at the time, we probably better get on with it here. I talked for a bit long.
Not at all. Are you guys going to do Joe's fabulous musical intro, or?
I'm going to leave that to Matt.
Sure.
Fabulous.
I didn't get that. Do it again.
I've forgotten how it goes now.
Never mind.
I'm kidding. Anyway, it's time for Tracy in the news.
Thank you, darlings. And good evening, everyone. It's July 30th, and you're watching the Maastricht edition. First, a look at your weekend weather, and tomorrow, Friday, is set to bring tropical temperatures to the Netherlands, with the mercury rising to 35 degrees. Saturday will drop to about 30 degrees and will bring rain and heavy thunderstorms. Sunday will remain dry and sunny with highs of 25. Please be sure to hydrate over the coming days and think of your pets. Now, moving to your news bulletin for tonight. The Dutch government has decided not to give in to mounting pressure and make wearing face masks compulsory in public spaces and shops. Local officials will instead be given the power to bring in regional measures. The concern is that this will not only be confusing, but could also damage public confidence in the government's efforts to control the coronavirus. More than 50% of the people in the Netherlands feel face masks should be made mandatory in all indoor public spaces. It has now been exactly 6 months since the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a global pandemic. After discussions with 25 of the Netherlands' largest employers, it seems that working from home is here to stay. There is the intention that employees will get together again, but it's believed staff will never go back to the pre-coronavirus office situation. Many companies have said they will work from home until at least September 1st or longer if the government extends the guideline. It seems 67% of people living in the Netherlands would like to continue to work from home 2 or 3 days a week. A 26-year-old man from The Hague was arrested today by employees of the Limburg cybercrime team for defrauding a woman from Echt. The man managed to deceive the woman and withdraw a considerable amount of money from her bank account. And the body that was found on Tuesday evening in the canal in Maastricht is indeed the remains of a person who had been missing since Monday morning. For privacy reasons, the victim's identity has not yet been revealed. And the municipality of Maastricht is going to conduct a test to ensure that the incorrect items are no longer being put into recycling containers. The test is being conducted at 5 recycling plants in the city. It seems people are putting items in the container for paper and cardboard that do not belong. For example, pieces of laminate and a sofa cut into pieces. In entertainment news tonight, the Netherlands' longest-running hit musical Soldaat van Oranje is set to return to the stage on September 2nd. The venue, a former aircraft hangar in Katwijk, holds 1,100 people, but rows of chairs have been removed to reduce the audience to 300. A British version of the show is due to open in London later this year. And Dutch media outlets are reporting a Glory heavyweight champion, Rico Verhoeven, will face rival Badr Hari for the 3rd time this December. The bout's venue is yet to be announced and is still unknown whether the fight will be for Verhoeven's title or not. And some nature enthusiasts in Biesbosch near Dordrecht had a rather amazing surprise earlier this week when they spotted a pair of white-tailed eagle chicks. The group was actually out looking for small mammals. Since 2012, white-tailed eagles have been habitating in Biesbosch, and there are currently 2 breeding pairs. And finally tonight, NASA's latest Mars rover, Perseverance, has launched on an astrobiology mission to look for signs of ancient microbial life and to fly a helicopter drone on another planet for the first time. The Mars rover soared into the sky under clear, sunny and warm conditions, carried by an Atlas V rocket. This marks NASA's 9th journey to Mars. And that's it for tonight. For more local news, you can follow RTV News in English on Facebook and Instagram. If you are a local business, be sure to check out the Support Your Local Business South Limburg Facebook page, a joint initiative between #Maastricht and the Maastricht Edition. And if you want to discover events, concerts, and cultural activities going on in Maastricht and the surrounding areas, head on over to the website maastrichter.com to check out their awesome calendar of events. You can also follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget that you can always find us on the Maastricht Edition Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, on Reddit, and on Instagram. For all the details, check out the maastrichtedition.nl.
White-tailed eagle chicks. I remember we used to chase them white-tailed eagle chicks.
White-tailed eagles, and it's the white-tailed eagle chicks. That's what's apparently so exciting, because they're breeding now, which is very cool. And apparently there was all these like guys out searching for like little voles and rabbits and things, and they had their cameras set up, and suddenly these beautiful eagle chicks came by. So
let me tell you, most guys are out there searching for white-tailed eagle chicks, right? That's terrible. I'm sorry.
It's awful.
But it's making you laugh, so there we are.
No,
Anyway, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to search the screen over here and see if we can get our guest online.
Yeah, I saw something flashing up during the news bulletin. It distracted me slightly, and I was thinking, aha, do we have a guest? I think we do.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yes. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Sadly, last week we had some technical issues, but today...
It looks like... success. How about that? We like it when things go right here at the Maastricht Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, Deniz from Maastrichter.com. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, guys.
Merhaba.
Good evening. Merhaba.
Merhaba. Yes.
I won't even try to butcher your language. I'm sorry. I barely speak English as it is.
Okay.
Hi, Deniz. How are you? It's so lovely to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you too, guys. I'm doing fine. You know, difficult times, but surviving. So.
Yes, like us all, I think. That's exactly it. But you've been keeping busy this last while. I was telling the guys earlier that we've had you on the show quite a number of times, but in the past you've been physically with us in the studio, so it's been a little bit more pleasant to interact a little bit. Perhaps for people who are seeing you for the first time, maybe you want to give us a little background about who you are, where you come from, and about this new venture of yours, Maastrichter.com.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, my name is Deniz Gurhan. I came to Netherlands about 13, 14 years ago. I'm originally from Turkey. First, I came to study at Delft University, did my master's, and then I started to work. And then about 7 years ago, I moved to the beautiful city of Maastricht. And also around that time, I also started my journey as Internations ambassador of Maastricht.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Internations, yeah, maybe the ones who don't know, is an expat club. It's a worldwide club, millions of members. And in Maastricht, we have around 4,000 members coming from about 150 different nationalities.
Wow.
So we are organizing some networking events. Of course, during Corona times, yeah, we couldn't organize that much, but yeah, we started last month. I can also talk about it shortly.
Yes.
So yeah, it has been fun. Like I mean, the Corona time we had to stop the events, but last month in June, we already organized 2 events. And we were the only committee on the Western Europe organizing the events, so they really appreciate it. Yeah. But you know, the events were a little bit strange. Normally it's like a standing up position, people can walk freely, talk with each other. I mean, these events, we were like sitting 2 by 2 on tables and like with some distance, 1.5 meters, trying to communicate, but people really liked it. I think everybody missed being social and interact with people, so it went quite okay. And also this we organized 2 more events.
Awesome. It's nice. Great that you guys are getting back out there, as it were. And I think you're completely right. I think people are enjoying the opportunity to finally get out of their 4 walls at home and to be around other people and to have a drink together or enjoy the weather or something. So
weird concept, people. Yeah. It's odd.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a strange one.
Yeah.
We're an odd race, really. It's wonderful, but Dennis, the role of ambassador for Internations is something you've been doing for quite a number of years now, right? And your chapter is quite a success, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. And yeah, I really enjoy doing it. It has been almost 7 years I've been in charge. And actually, I am organizing together with Burcu, another friend of mine. And actually, there's like 7-8 people organizing events. I mean, me and Burcu, we are kind of in charge, so-called ambassadors. But there's like a 7-8 people team organizing different events through the whole month. So it's really fun, you know. It's like a meeting with new people, hearing their stories, and it's always fun. I really enjoy doing that.
Indeed. I think this is always something we recommend to people who are moving here, maybe from abroad, or maybe people who are here a long time and are looking to get a bit more actively social, that they should check out the Internations website and reach out. We had a Christmas birthday party type thing some time ago at Lumiere, and it was in collaboration with Internations. I remember it was such a fun bunch of people. I met people from Canada and Ireland, yay, and all of these places. And it's a really warm kind of group that nobody is left kind of alone or at the side. So even if you're by yourself here, you can go along and someone will kind of scoop you up and bring you into the group. So it's really a good thing to consider if you're looking to broaden your social network, so to speak.
Exactly. You guys should come more often.
We should.
We should. You know, the whole Rona thing's kind of got kind of put a hiccup in some things. Let's put that out there. I don't know. Actually, a good question, in speaking towards Internations is, Deniz, do you see? I mean, it's designed for expats, but do you see a lot of local Maastrichters acting in part with this?
Yeah, to be honest, for the last 2 years, the number of locals coming to our events are increasing considerably. And actually, like, not only locals, but people used to live in the north of the country, recently moved to here, and they also don't know anyone. They also come to our events. And more local people are also joining as well, which is good, you know, because if you are new in the city, you also have some questions for locals, how to do things, or maybe like language-related questions. It's I enjoy so much also seeing locals in our gatherings.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a vital part, I think. Otherwise, you sort of end up in a little expat bubble almost, and you perhaps miss out a bit on everything else, don't you?
Correct.
Yeah, and you also have a lot of repats, people who've maybe lived in, I don't know, Shanghai or Singapore, who've moved back to the Netherlands, and then they're also sort of reintegrating. If they've been away for 5 or 10 years and they're coming back home, I suppose it's also a nice option for them to sort of reconnect and keep that balance in place.
Yeah, that's true. That also brings quite some diversity in the group in terms of also like age, professions. It's quite a diverse group, and it's getting bigger and bigger, luckily.
Yeah, Tracy, what a good idea, repat. You should
repat, yes.
Hey, go snag that domain name for later. Yeah, repat.
You got repat, you've got love pats, expats. There's a lot of pats going on, you know.
Well, moving away from the pats and kind of sticking along the same line of all the awesome work that Deniz is doing. You're actually not so much here to talk about Internations, but you're here to talk about your new venture, Maastrichter. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course, and we are partners, And
we are.
Excited about it, indeed. Actually, this project was in my mind quite for some time, but I didn't have the time and inspiration to start it. I started at the end of last year with the name and with the logo. And then building the website started, which was quite some work. The website looks like kind of simple, user-friendly, but there's quite some programming, coding, developing behind it. Took quite some time. And actually, I'm very, very happy with the end results. So it's, the motivation was, as you know, we are living in this beautiful region. And some people may complain there are not enough things to do in the region. when I hear about it, I always get surprised. I mean, there's plenty of things to do, but if you are new in the city or you don't know where to check, you can easily get lost. It's a portal, basically a website combining all the cultural activities, events, concerts, gatherings, workshops happening in our region in one platform. And when I say our region, like I'm talking about 1 hour driving distance from Maastricht. So also events from Düsseldorf, Köln, or Brussels, Antwerp, you can also find in the website. And it's also, there's very nicely designed search engine. You can put your location and also put the radius. If you don't feel like, traveling a lot, you can say, okay, show me the events in the radius of 5-10 kilometers. Or if you feel adventurous, you increase the radius. So this is in a nutshell what the Maastrichter is about.
Go ahead, Jason.
No,
sorry.
please, after. Ladies first, please.
Yeah, I had a look at the website, and you should be very proud of it. It's a really beautiful website, and it's really, truly, it's so user-friendly. You can select by genre, indeed location, and I even looked myself earlier today because you were coming on the show, and I found an event that I'm already going to sign up for. In 4 weeks' time, you can buy tickets, so I'm already marking my agenda. But there is a Johnny Cash Roadshow coming to Maastricht. Yes, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so exciting. So 23rd of March, 2021, it's going to be in the Musikgieterei, which is a fantastic venue. And this was a surprise because I had no clue this was happening. I was looking on Maastrichter, I selected Maastricht, I did a search, and there it was. So it's proof that there's absolutely lots of stuff going on, and you can find it here. And there's some lovely videos and promos, and the design of the website is so easy to use. There's no excuses, people. Get online and check it out.
And really, Tracy, that's a surprise to me because I thought Johnny Cash had died some time ago, and now he's touring.
No, it's a tribute band.
I missed that part.
Okay, but the guy does look quite like Johnny Cash, so it's quite clever. But it's fantastic. So, and this was genuinely a surprise. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. 5 minutes bike ride away from me. So that's cool.
That was perfect. So pleased to hear.
And again, I mean, the website from again from the ease of use and the user friendly usability attitude that the website puts out there. I mean, it's not just an aggregate of music events either. I mean, I think I recall even seeing some theater, some different performance pieces in there. So maybe if for some reason you don't like music. One, why don't you like music? But two, there's something there for everybody, really. And I'm not saying that just because we're partners with Maastricht or Cotton, but also because it is a fantastic resource for folks in the Maastricht region to utilize in order to kind of get out there and see what's available. Get your mind, get out of your headspace and get out of the house and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
also one of the problems, like, there are lots of events, but we are blessed with the location of Maastricht, next to Belgium, next to Germany. You can find the events, but the events in Belgium are in French, and events in Germany are in German. So we are also translating them to English so everybody can understand, everybody can get access. So it's also like, in that sense, it's a kind of unique concept, I must say.
Fantastic. So now there's no excuse for anybody out there, really.
Not at all. I don't want to hear anybody complaining that nothing to do in this region.
Wait,
exactly.
Dennis, you've been on the internet, right? I mean, you know how complaints work, right? I'm kidding.
No,
but
he's joking. But what's also very exciting about the Maastrichter.com website, there's also a section on promotions. Mm-hmm. And if you click on that, there's even like adverts for special deals where, I don't know, you get like a dinner of 2 for 1 or something like that. But this is also really interesting to check out. And there's some very nice things like overnights in Valkenburg and, dinners with a view, that sort of thing. So that's also quite a nice extra that people can find on the site.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for promotions, we partnered up with Social Deal.
Okay.
Social Deal has quite some nice deals, but they are also in Dutch and French. and there are too many. So we are also like filtering the deals we think, I mean, the people visiting Maastrichter.com will be interested, also translating to English and putting on the websites. And there will be more deals directly from the event organizers as well, like from the hotels, from the restaurants. But all this will happen, let's say, after September, after the summer holidays.
Okay.
Yeah. The month of August is a very kind of like a twilight zone month sometimes. Even with COVID going on, people are still taking vacation and they're sort of switching off from stuff, right? So September is a good time, I think.
Exactly. And some very exciting extra partners, collaborations are also on the way. And we are trying to partner up also with like some local cultural players in Belgium and Germany. And we will also announce those partnerships after September.
Excellent. So really the moral of the story here is go to the website and stay tuned, because there's a lot of good stuff coming our way, really.
Yeah, indeed.
I think that is the moral, yes. And of course, to follow Maastrichter.com, also have some social pages, so Facebook and Instagram as well. So people, it's really advisable to follow, so you're getting updates right at the right moment, and people can always reach out to you, I guess, Deniz, if they want to perhaps collaborate or maybe advertise an event or something like that.
Sure. I mean, if anybody is organizing an event and want to be heard by a larger crowds, please contact with us via the webpage, and also now we are partners. They can also contact via you. And we are happy to put, all the events. I mean, the idea is let's make this region social again after Corona. And let's also culturally combine these three countries in this portal.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. The Euro region, it's all happening there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it's wonderful. So, again, good news from Deniz from Maastrichter and from Internations. So we'll put all of your details on our website. We'll get all your details out on Facebook as well. So if people want to contact you with events, they'll have more than ample means to do so. Again, thank you for your time today. We really appreciate talking to you. Sure. And we hope to actually have you again soon, so you can tell us about more of the great things that have been added to Maastrichter and all the great things that you're doing in Maastricht.
Of course, my pleasure. I mean, thanks a lot for inviting. It's always so nice to see you guys, and hopefully next time in studio.
True.
Or contact.
Let's hope so. Who knows?
Fingers crossed, yeah.
I just realized we didn't learn how to say thank you in Turkish. Guys, we slipped up. So, no. We only learned how to say hello.
What did we learn? We learned Nazilsin.
Gracias.
No, nasılsın is like, how are you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Teşekkürler, which is a little like long. Or, yeah.
Merci
Next
beaucoup.
time I will ask you.
We'll learn for next.
We'll learn that with the PR challenge. Let's just go with a big thank you, and we're safe.
Deniz, I'm reading from a cue card. I don't even really speak English. I have no idea what I'm saying right now. But again, hey, thank you so much for joining us. We'll get all your information out there, and we hope to see you again really soon.
Yeah, you are very welcome.
Yeah.
And have a nice evening, guys.
Yeah.
You too. Take
Cheers.
care of you. Bye.
Bye.
Such
Wonderful.
a nice guy. Very exciting, huh?
All right,
Yeah.
Tracy, calm down. Figure yourself
I'm
out.
good. Yeah, we love Deniz on the
Yeah,
show.
we do. Great guy, and really the effort that he's put into Maastricht here. Again, not even considering the partnership with the Maastricht edition, anything that we have there, but I mean, really is a fantastic resource to see what's going on in the area. Really, no matter what you like. Even if you don't get out of the house, you can just kind of dream and see all of the things that are happening, and
Imagine you were there.
you were there.
Indeed.
Exactly.
But it's great. It's fantastic, and he should be rightly very proud. It's a really, really cool
No
thing.
kidding. No kidding.
Yeah.
No
Well
kidding.
done. Cool. That was our guest for this week, and no
Fantastic.
technical issues. Yay!
That we know of. Hopefully, we're still streaming. Anyway, kidding.
Are there still people on Facebook, Matthew?
There are a few.
Hello.
We're still embarrassing ourselves. It's fine. So,
Okay.
Actually, I was going to do a terrible segue and go, speaking of embarrassing ourselves, but that's really not true. So I'm just going to turn it over to Matt to go somewhere with us. Not embarrassing in the least.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, God.
Prepared. I'm going to have some more wine. I'm prepared. Carry on, Matthew.
This week, I'm going back Dutch, sort of.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
because Tracy mentioned last week that one of the Dutch cities up north disconnected itself from its twin city in Poland.
That was you again, if I recall correctly.
There you go. Because they're being very anti-LGBTQ, very bad. So I thought I'd look into what towns Maastricht is twinned with and see if there's any bad ones. Maybe we could get a fun story out of it, but no, they're all nice places. So we're gonna learn. I thought anyway. We'll have a quick look. We'll learn a bit about them. So the biggest one that Maastricht is twinned with, which I found a bit surprising, was Chengdu in China.
Hey.
Wow.
So I don't know if you know anything about Chengdu. But,
Dave's been there.
It's in China.
It's in China.
And it has panda bears. I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the capital of Sichuan province.
That's right.
So
Delicious.
Very well known for very spicy food.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah,
Matthew, you've done your research.
I did. But one of the biggest things is that Chengdu is enormous. There are 16 million people living in Chengdu, compared to about less than 200,000 people who live in Maastricht, and they're twinned. And what? So that was a bit surprising.
That is a surprise.
But one of the main reasons they're twinned is because Maastricht is really keen to develop its knowledge in sort of health and life sciences. So there's the Brightlands Health Campus.
Okay.
And in Chengdu, there's also a section of the city called the Medical City, where they're working a lot on sort of medical companies and healthcare companies, like entrepreneurs and these different ideas about how you can develop new technologies and ways of caring for people. And Maastricht is also very keen to build upon this. So there's this exchange of knowledge and investment, and but also it's about cultural exchange and tourism and education, because Maastricht is obviously a very big university, very international university. So there's a lot of sort of joint exchanges going on. And also during the Corona crisis, in February, Maastricht sent Chengdu 2,500 face masks to help them deal with the sort of COVID lockdown that was going on at the time.
Yeah.
And then to return the favour, Chengdu sent Maastricht 11,700 masks, a bit more than Maastricht was capable of sending. But sadly, because of all the restrictions with exporting face masks, they had to come by train all the way from Chengdu in China to Tilburg in near Eindhoven. So that took months, of course.
I can imagine.
But can you imagine how far that is? They came all the way on a train.
So
it's quite cool that there is you could, in theory, get a train from Tilburg to Chengdu.
I mean, it's probably freight, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're willing to be really uncomfortable, awesome. No, but what seems really cool about that is because I would imagine those masks were distributed around Maastricht, right?
I think they were given to a health organization.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless, there are people in Maastricht with Chinese origin, legitimate face masks that traveled farther than most people will travel in their lifetime.
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's quite cool.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's
And
a
also,
cool city.
if you're interested in learning a bit more about China and Chinese, at the host school South, there's the Confucius Institute. So the Confucius Institute is a national organization from China that helps if you want to learn Chinese or if you want to learn about Chinese culture.
Really?
And there's lots of different ones in different cities around the world.
Wow.
And there's also similar things like there's the Spanish one, I can't remember what it's called, Quixote Society, and there's a French one, and the German, but that's the Chinese one, the Confucius one, and it's in Maastricht.
I might check that out. I think
Yeah.
that's quite cool. Wow.
Yeah, they have lessons. I think it's 10 lessons for €200 or something. It's
Well,
not
once I learn English, I think that I'll check that out. Awesome.
Start slowly, dear. Yeah.
That's the only way I can start. So, what other cities do we have out there?
You also have Koblenz, and I think I'll talk about that one next week because I've just been to Koblenz, lovely place.
Yeah.
And there's some other ones which I don't remember, which I explore in following weeks.
Okay, a teaser then.
Yeah.
Part 2 next week.
Excellent.
Twin Cities.
Well, thank you very much for
Matthew.
Matt Wint Sister Cities, I guess is what can we call it?
Twin Cities, Sister Cities.
Sister
yes.
Cities, Kin Cities. Anyway, Matt goes city, and he went city.
Go somewhere.
So thank you for going so city for us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Awesome. Cool.
Man, we are the hour is nigh, folks.
I know. Do you know what I realized? We didn't do our what did you learn this week that you didn't know last week bit, and we also didn't explain why we have all these books around
Yeah,
us.
we should probably...
Shall we try?
Well, let's quit. Well, hey, you know what?
Books to read.
We'll bookend the show by talking about books.
Very good.
Oh,
It's the best segue ever.
it's written on the cue card behind me. I really don't know what it means.
Well done. What does Matthew have? I see Stephen Fry, the Da Vinci Code, and I can't make out the top one. It's too
The
picture.
top one is an almanac.
Ooh,
I
I
had
love
this for
it.
Christmas from my mother. It's very helpful. Like it's got like a chapter per month, and it tells you like the different flowers that are in season, what vegetables to eat,
Yeah.
the seasons, the phases of the moon, what
Wow.
flowers to look for, the waves. Not waves, the
Moon
tides.
cycles, tides, things.
that
Tidal
sort of
cycles,
thing.
yeah.
So it's very interesting. So I use that once a month. It's also got some random recipes and folk songs for every month. So that's always
Right.
intriguing.
It's also a very pretty book cover as well.
It is, yeah.
Hmm.
Then I've got
Nice.
Stephen Fry's Making History. It's
Love
a
Stephen Fry.
novel. It's a great book about going back in time and the perils of changing stuff. Very interesting.
Ooh.
And then I'm practicing my Dutch by reading the Da Vinci Code in Dutch.
Oh my God, that's
I see.
impressive.
D
It's
Da
a
Vinci
really
Code.
easy read. Like, it's very like thriller, quite.
Hmm.
So I thought, I'll do that. I got it during King's Day once at one of those markets.
Oh right. It's like
Yeah,
like
right.
€1 or something
Exactly.
like
For you.
that.
Well, I must be picking up Dutch because I understood the title.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, I'm learning.
That's impressive.
Tracy, what have you on your desktop there?
I've got a bunch, but I'm going to choose a couple for you. I'm reading 2 books at the moment, so I tend to do that. I don't know why. I'm reading one from Graham Norton.
Again.
We love Graham Norton. This
Friend
is
of the show.
Great show, and he's great on Eurovision. He wrote Holding, and now this is the second one of his fiction books. But I love it particularly because it's set in Ireland. It could be any Irish rural village. Like the village could be my village, and the farmer could be my uncle. And it's really, I really feel like I'm in the story. It's very bizarre, but it's a very good read, and he is a very, very good writer. It's really definitely something to think about, and it's also been translated into Dutch, so if people want to read it in Dutch, they could do that. And staying on the Irish theme, I'm also reading a book called Mother Folklore.
I beg your pardon?
Excuse me.
I know. And this is it. It's a sort of Irish book, and it's basically about the history of the Irish language and about the musicality and the origins of the words in the sadly no longer very well spoken Gaelic language, and also about learning it in school and how the fada, which is the accent on some of the Irish words, how that can change the word completely. So if you have a with an accent, it means something else to a word with a without an accent. So it's quite an interesting read. It's not a fiction book, but it's more of a chapter a night before bed type thing. But that's quite interesting.
And the title of that book was?
Mother Folklore. There
Got
it
it.
is.
Okay.
And one more. This is one I'm reading next once I get these 2 out of the way. This is The Miraculous Life of Maggie the Wonder Dog. And I follow these guys on Instagram, and it's such a story. This is Maggie, and she was rescued from the streets of Lebanon, and she had been tortured and abused and shot and blinded and had her ear cut off. All these awful things. But she was rescued and brought to the UK by a lady called Casey Carlin, who then wrote the book of her story. And Maggie is very prominent on Instagram and helps to send messages of love and acceptance and so on and so on. So book that's going to be next on my reading pile. So
Excellent.
those are a few from me. How about you, Jason? I
Oh.
know you have.
Oh God, am I literate? I guess that's the question. No, So I don't have it in front of me because it's in my son's room. But the good old standby Roald Dahl, Matilda. I've been reading that. Yeah, and my son's been walking around going, "Rattle my bones," which anybody who remembers never mind. Oh, there you are. Okay.
I've got Roald Dahl, Mr. Fox, which I'm planning. I've not read this one.
What?
It's awful. I know.
Ah.
So I found this on Amazon, and this is going to take like 10 minutes to read through, but I'm looking forward to reading it.
Well, you should absolutely pair that with Stephen King's It, because those two really go together. And I've got a couple of standbys here because I find that I go back and forth. But I grab my towel and I usually go into the old Douglas Adams here. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a good standby for me, and I find also, I guess I'm realizing that I really enjoy the sci-fi and sort of the really big fantasy because Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, if you've not heard of this one, is very, very out there in the realm of parallel universes and probability theory and everything. It is fiction, by the way. And if I can understand it, then anybody can understand it. But it is a fantastic concept from beginning to end. And I would highly suggest that to anybody. And really, I understand like 3 words in that book. So, yeah. Don't ask me about it.
Okay, we'll expect a book report next week.
My God.
But great, very interesting. I might check that one out. It's an area. I don't tend to read that type of genre, but that's something maybe that would be nice to try once in a while. I also have never read a Stephen Fry, so that's one I need to fix as well. Yeah, so there we go. So some tips. I like this new segment.
Yeah.
Little book thing. So
absolutely.
And it brings us nicely up. We're 6 minutes over, guys.
We are exactly where we need to be, as hobbits are.
Yeah. Time for some quick jokes, Tracy.
Oh my goodness, I have a couple of jokes. Well, actually, the thing I learned this week was that baby hedgehogs are called hoglets.
Oh.
Isn't that the cutest thing ever? And of course, I had a lot of information about hedgehogs, but I'll just jump to the joke. How does a hedgehog look when he goes on a date?
Pointy. Yeah.
He looks sharp.
There. I knew it was. Oh God. I love it.
But it's so cute. A hoglet. Oh, they're just so nice. It's very exciting, actually. Next month, Dave and I have managed to book ourselves a day at a photo hide. And it's up north about 2 hours outside of Maastricht. Ooh, the excitement. And we're going to go along, and you go into the little hide and you can photograph birds and things like that. But they also say that you might get to see a hedgehog.
That's where it is. I was wondering where it's. We scheduled a time for some photographs and hedgehogs.
Yes.
You know.
You were talking about parallel universes and all that stuff. It's like on the show, really.
And maybe we should use that to close out the show. There are photos with hedgehogs or hoglets, Tracy. Anyway, that's what we expect to see next week.
Next month.
Next month. Either way, they'll be on the show. So thank you to our guest, Deniz from Maastricht and Internations. And thank you to all of you out there who actually stuck around to watch this. Joe will be back next week, hopefully. Cross your fingers so you don't have to hear nearly as much of my voice. I'll just be stuck in the background doing really inappropriate things to the hosts here. But again, thank you very much. Thanks to RTV for making this all possible. And we hope to see you all again real soon. Let's say next week. Next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend and stay cool in the heat. I'm cool. All right. Ciao, guys. You are cool, honey. Oh, God. Bye-bye.